brothers and sisters, ladies and gentlemen, students and scholars, teachers and trainers, professors, professionals, listeners, learners, officials. I welcome all respected doctors and directors. I welcome honorable ministers and managers. I welcome honorable advocates, advertisers, administrators, advisors. I welcome the most honorable President Mr. Modi ji. Dr. Rakesh from USA, heartily cordially welcome. It is really nice time, nice place, nice action today. All of you are listening, YouTube channel 3M Creators. I appreciate our Indian holy cultural identities, holy constitutional identities in the form of unity and diversity. What is happening around the nation, what is happening around the world, let us go through in the form of unity and diversity. Economically, politically, socially, nationally and internationally. Presidentially, reference opinion does not overrule a judgment, former CJI says. In a presidential reference, we cannot overrule a judgment, but we can lay down the law. And while laying down the law, we can observe that the law laid down in a particular manner in a judgment is not correct. A message from the former CJI B.R. Gavai. From New Delhi, Chief Justice of India B.R. Gavai, who retired from the post on Sunday, said the presidential deference opinion against tying governors to timelines was not intended to shift the burden back on the states to run pillars to posts to get their recalcitrant governors to pass pending bills on time. If the Constitution does not provide for a timeline, we judiciary cannot read something that is not there. It is for the Parliament to do that, he said. He explained that an opinion given in a presidential reference did not overrule the judgment, but only clarified the law. In a presidential reference, we cannot overrule the judgment, but we can lay down the law, and while laying down the law, we can observe that the law laid down in a particular manner in a judgment is not correct, he said. The presidential reference was triggered by a judgment in a Tamil Nadu governor case on April 8, which broke the silence in the constitution and held that bills must be cleared by the governors and president in 3 months, or they would be deemed to have got assent. On November 20, a five-judge bench, in its advisory opinion, contracted the April 8 judgment and concluded that governors and the president cannot be forced to follow a timeline. ध्वजारोहण समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। पीएम आज श्री राम मंदिर के शिखर पर फहराएंगे भगवा ध्वजा। प्रतियोगिता के लिए भारतीय खिलाड़ी तैयार। 10 फीट ऊंचा और 20 फीट लंबा है भगवा ध्वज। पीएम मोदी श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन। 10 खिलाड़ियों के साथ जीता एवर्टन। ब्रैंडन रॉजर्स ने पिछले महीने छोड़ा था मैनेजर का पद। No plan to bring bill on Chandigarh Sage Center. Government had listed bill that would align Chandigarh with other union territories, but following outrage from ministry says proposal to simplify lawmaking process is under consideration. प्रधानमंत्री आज जाएंगे कुरुक्षेत्र। 10 फीट ऊंचा और 20 फुट लंबा ध्वजा। प्रधानमंत्री आज जाएंगे कुरुक्षेत्र। ध्वजारोहण समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। नीतीश कैबिनेट की पहली बैठक बिहार से। धर्म ध्वजा पर सूर्य ओम और केविदार पेड़। शांति योजना पर चर्चा। 10 फीट ऊंचा और 20 फुट लंबा है भगवा ध्वजा। पीएम श्री मोदी श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन। महिला कबड्डी वर्ल्ड कप भारत के नाम। ध्वजारोहण समारोह। शिखर पर फहराएंगे ध्वजा। धर्म ध्वजा पर ओम, सूर्य, कोविदारा पेड़। 10 फीट ऊंचा 20 फीट लंबा है भगवा ध्वज। अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। No plan to bring bill on Chandigarh Sage Center. The Union Home Ministry said on Sunday that the center has no indication of introducing a constitution amendment bill to bring Chandigarh under Article 240 of the Constitution in the upcoming session. of Parliament. The clarification came following outrage in Punjab with parties including the Congress, Shiromani Akali Dal and Aam Aadmi Party opposing the move, which would pave the way for the appointment of an independent administrator in Chandigarh, bringing the joint capital of Punjab and Haryana under the direct control of the ministry. सज गई अयोध्या नगरी। ध्वजारोहण समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। श्री राम मंदिर के शिखर पर आज होगा ध्वजारोहण। 191 फीट की ऊंचाई पर 22 फीट लंबी 10-11 फीट चौड़ी होगी धर्म ध्वजा। श्री राम मंदिर पर धर्म ध्वजा। The November 21 Lok Sabha bulletin had listed the Constitution 131 Amendment Bill 2025 among 10 bills proposed to be passed during the winter session of Parliament from December 1. The description said the bill is proposed for discussion and passage to align Chandigarh with other union territories without legislatures when its legislative assembly is dissolved or suspended. The ministry shared that the proposal to simplify the central government's law-making process for the union territory of Chandigarh is still under consideration. 35th year of martyrdom dedicated to Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, Bhai Matidas Ji, Bhai Satidas Ji, Bhai Dyala Ji. Samagams at Shri Anandpur Sahib, 24 December 2025. Nagar Kirtan, Kiratpur Sahib, Shri Guru. Shri Anandpur Sahib, Heritage Walk at Shri Anandpur Sahib, Special Assembly Session dedicated to Shri Guru Tegh Bahadur Ji, Kadi and Kavishya Darbar, plays or readings or poetry based on the life and teachings of Guru Sahib, Gatka and other performances, drone show, Katha and Kirtan Darbar. 25th December 2025, Bhog Shri Akhand Path Sahib, state level blood donation drive, statewide campaign to plant 3.50 lakh saplings, Gurbani Kirtan, Sarbat Da Pala, gathering, drone show. Display ovation at Shri Anandpur Sahib. अयोध्या का कोना कोना फूलों से सजा। श्री राम मंदिर के शिखर पर आज होगा ध्वजारोहण। प्रधानमंत्री करेंगे धर्म ध्वजा की स्थापना। धर्म ध्वजा पर सूर्य, ओम और कोविदारा पेड़ों का चित्र अंकित। 10 फीट ऊंचा और 20 फुट लंबा। पीएम मोदी श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन। Head shapes up as solution for Australia's opening moves from Perth. Travis Head may have betted himself into a permanent role as Australian opener after his swashbuckling 123 against England, casting doubt on the future of an aging Usman Khawaja. Cummins' likely return might boost Australia's pace attack from Perth. Australia's bowling attack may be overhauled with Pat Cummins saying he is half a chance to be fit in time after missing the Perth test. KIUZ across 7 cities from today from Jaipur. As many as 5,000 athletes, including the likes of Olympian swimmer Shri Hari Natraj and renowned archer Bhajan Kaur will compete the 5th edition of Hello India University Games scheduled to commence in Rajasthan on Monday. Athletes from more than 230 universities will compete in 24 disciplines those who will be favorites to win medals in other in their discipline are double Olympian swimmer Shri Hari Natraj and leading archers Bhajan Kaur, Parneet Kaur and Aditi Gopichand Swami. Sri Hari competing in his second KIUZ will take part in 6 events. HI announces free tickets for Men's Junior World Cup. From Madurai, East Bengal was out of AFC Women's Champions League. Abhinav wins men's 25-meter pistol gold at the day flying of Olympics. Murad and Taizil spin Bangladesh to Shirish V. Lakshya clinches Australian Open, the 24-year-old, and during a tough phase after finishing fourth at the Paris Olympics, caps a resurgent week with a win over Japan's Tanaka. From Sydney, Indian badminton in transition need to give youngsters time, Saina says from New Delhi. Solid field for Syed Modi India International Tournament from Lucknow. PM Modi श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर पर करेंगे आज ध्वजारोहण समारोह. श्री राम जन्मभूमि परिसर में आज होगा ध्वजारोहण समारोह. अयोध्या का कोना कोना फूलों से सजा. ये मंदिर लक्ष्मण जी के पराक्रम लक्ष्मण जी के सम्मान में भव्य मंदिर बनकर तैयार. पीएम मोदी श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन. श्री राम जन्मभूमि परिसर में आज होगा ध्वजारोहण समारोह. अयोध्या का कोना कोना फूलों से सजा. Glorious chapters of Navya Ayodhya. Sugamya Ayodhya, enhancing transportation and connectivity. Maharishi Valmiki International Airport, upgradation of Ayodhya Dham railway station with 6 platforms and capacity for handling 50,000 passengers. 4-lane widening and strengthening of Rampath to Nayaghat. Construction of Sultanpur National Highway 330. Widening and strengthening of Bhakti Path Ayodhya main road to Shri Ram Janambhumi via Hanumangadi. Pedestrian pathways with underground utility docks, storm water drains and aesthetic street lighting on Shri Ram Janambhumi Path. 6 gateway complexes to Ayodhya named after Shri Ram, Lakshman, Bharat, Hanuman, Garuda and Jatayu. 250 e-golf carts, Astha-Rath and 75 electric shuttle buses are operational or proposed. Widening of a 35.60 km stretch into a 4-lane corridor on Akbarpur Bashkari Road SH30 planned for providing waterway connectivity by linking rivers including Ganga, Saryu and Yamuna. Announcement to launch water transport services on the Saryu river between Balia and Ayodhya. Electric hybrid public transport system, water metro operational. Boating, water sports and adventure activities at the historic Dr. Ghat on the Saryu river. Adhunik Ayodhya, building a technology-driven and future-ready city. GIS-based master plan for a 133 km area integrated traffic management system for efficient traffic control. State Smart City Mission, red light violation detection RLVD and adaptive. Traffic control systems ATCS at 22 intersections. Deployment of a city-wide public address system within the municipal corporation. Swachh Ayodhya. Sanitation, drainage and sewage management in urban areas. 6 MLD capacity expansion of sewage treatment plant in Ramghat in 181 lanes including Sitakund, Lakshman Ghat and Brihaspati Ward. Works completed on water supply, drainage, main cable installation and street development. 5 toilet blocks and utility centers. Rapid economic development plan, construction of new drains across 59 locations. New drain developed from Fatehganj vegetable market to Pathan Tola on the Chodakoshi Parikaram Marg. Surya Mein Ayodhya, beautification of religious and cultural sites and promoting tourism. Guptar Ghat Park, parking and kiosk development, facade beautification along Bhakti Path and Shri Ram Janambhumi. Installation of 12 curtain steel sculptures thus depicting the divine chariots along the riverfront on the Sarju River. Sanskritik Ayodhya, conservation of heritage, art and religious sites. Surface improvements, mural painting and artistic restoration at historical sites. 162 murals painted across 81 walls depicting episodes from the life of Bhagwan Sri Ram along the Sri Ram Heritage Walk. Display of Sri Ram's life events through 162 murals made from diverse materials along the Dharampath. Construction of a grand entrance gateway along the Dharmpath. Ramayana themed mirror image. Bhul Bhulaiya. Adhyatmik Ayodhya. Upgrading Prikrama routes and religious circuits to enhance pilgrim facilities. Development of facilities on Panchkoshi and Chodakoshi Prikrama routes. Tourism development at Kunj on Chaurasi Koshi Parikrama route. Basic facilities and beautification works at the ancient Sant Ravidas temple complex. Promoting cultural and spiritual heritage through Ram Lila and traditional festival. Showcasing art, craft and local cuisines as part of cultural review. Ayushman Ayodhya, strengthening healthcare and medical infrastructure, academic building and OPD block at the government Ayurveda hospital, enhanced healthcare services at Rajarshi Dashrath Medical College, 100-bed hospital at Kumirganj and 50-bed hospital at Mikipur, community health center in Sunuha, departmental rooms and classrooms at Dr. Brixi Shaw Government Homeopathic Medical College and Hospital. Avesham experience is Mathuswami from Guwahati. Today was better for betting from Guwahati. Newcastle Dance Man City's title bid via Warren's travel from Newcastle. Rahul to lead India in ODIs against Ashe from Sports Bureau. India emerges champion in T20 Blind Women's WC. News from Colombo. Muthuswamy and Jensen put South Africa in the box seat. The former scores his maiden 10th century, while the latter missions out by 7 runs. Tadu's 97 partnership for the 8 wicket powers the visiting team to massive score. The Indian bowlers struggled to make an impression from Guwahati. Junction hits the most 6 attached links by visiting better in India, 7 maximums. महर्षि वाल्मीकि एयरपोर्ट बनाया गया। ध्वजारोहण समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। महर्षि वाल्मीकि एयरपोर्ट, अयोध्या में रेलवे स्टेशन कायाकल्प। अयोध्या का कोना कोना फूलों से सजा। पीएम आज शाम कुरुक्षेत्र का करेंगे दौरा। अयोध्या जंक्शन और अयोध्या कैंट का कायाकल्प। वंदे भारत सहित कई ट्रेनों का स्टॉपेज। श्री कृष्ण के पवित्र शंख सम्मान में 5 जने का उद्घाटन। दिल्ली सहित प्रमुख शहरों में सीधा रेल संपर्क। अयोध्या में बड़े स्तर पर सड़कों का निर्माण। पीएम आज श्री राम मंदिर के शिखर पर फहराएंगे भगवा ध्वजा। रामनगरी की भव्यता को मिला विस्तार। आज विवाह पंचमी के अभिजीत मुहूर्त। धर्म ध्वजा पर सूर्य, ओम और कोविदा पेड़ों का चित्र अंकित। महर्षि वाल्मीकि एयरपोर्ट बनाया गया। 10 फीट ऊंचा और 20 फीट लंबा है भगवा ध्वज। अयोध्या में रेलवे स्टेशन का कायाकल्प। पीएम आज करेंगे श्री राम जन्मभूमि का दर्शन। Wasn't sure if I would ever play Test again after 2019 tour of India fighting back. Tough day showed how challenging Test cricket is. Kuldeep says from Big Battle. Gilchrist Straits tell of Travis Path blazed above his own record breaking tone from Heady Turf. Grandeur marks Sai Baba's birth centenary in Andhra Pradesh. Putraparthi in Andhra Pradesh witnessed a historic spiritual gathering on Sunday as thousands assembled at the Shri Satya Sai Hill View Stadium to celebrate the 100th birth anniversary of Shri Satya Sai Baba. Vice President CP Radhakrishnan, Andhra Pradesh Chief Minister, and Chandrababu Naidu, Telangana Chief Minister A. Revanth Reddy and several other dignitaries participated in the global event. Mr. Radhakrishnan paid glowing tributes to the spiritual leader, recalling Satya Sai Baba's large-scale humanitarian initiatives, particularly drinking water projects that uplifted lakhs across multiple states. At a time when society is challenged by division, Baba's teachings of love, unity and service hold greater urgency. His mission lives vibrantly here, he said, urging devotees to honor his legacy through purposeful action rather than symbolic celebration. Chief Minister Chandrababu Naidu described November 23, 1926 as the divine advent of a figure which transformed millions to unconditional love. Calling Parasanthi Nialam a divine energy center, he said people from across the world were drawn to Satya Sai Baba without any outreach. Purely by the power of his message, Telangana Chief Minister Revanth Reddy said, it was an honor to participate both as a devotee and as a constitutional head. He praised Satya Sai Baba for achieving what even governments struggle to accomplish, citing free education from kindergarten to postgraduate level, medical services and drinking water schemes benefiting Palamuru, Anandpur and Tamil Nadu. दिल्ली सहित प्रमुख शहरों में सीधा रेल संपर्क। अयोध्या में बड़े स्तर पर सड़कों का निर्माण। आज विवाह पंचमी के अभिजीत मुहूर्त में होगा ध्वजारोहण। रामनगरी की भव्यता को मिला विस्तार। धर्म ध्वजा पर सूर्य, ओम और कोविदा पेड़ों का चित्र अंकित। अयोध्या से प्रमुख शहरों के लिए विमान सेवा। 10 फीट ऊंचा और 20 फीट लंबा है भगवा ध्वज। पीएम मोदी श्री राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन। महर्षि वाल्मीकि एयरपोर्ट बनाया गया। गोवा पुलिस cancel controversial Kamsutra and Kishmish event after massive outrage from Panji. An advertisement for a 4-day event titled Tales of Kamsutra and Kishmish celebration in Goa triggered outrage, prompting the police to direct the organizers to cancel the program scheduled next month. An official said on Sunday. The police took cognizance of the matter after local NGO objected to the event scheduled to be held from December 25 to 28 in the coastal state. Goa police cancel controversial Kam Sutra and Kashmir event after massive outrage from Panji. Organizers have also been directed to remove the advertisements from social media, police said in its post. Adding that police stations have been directed to maintain vigil over upcoming events in their jurisdiction. The event Tales of Kamsutra and Christmas celebrations was advertised on social media under the banner of Bhagwan Shri Rajneesh Foundation. While the poster did not have the location of the event, it mentioned that the facilitator was Swami Dhyan Sumit, founder of Osho Ludhiana Meditation Society of Bhagwan Shri Rajneesh Foundation. The police also tagged a post by Arun Pandey, founder and director of Goa-based NGO Tejas Crash Wing Commander Naman Shyal cremated with fully military honors in UP from Coimbatore. Opposition demand EC action against Ajit Pawar's no vote, no funds remark. Political parties question silence of poll panel. NCP says Maharashtra Deputy Chief Minister's comments are an explicit threat to the democratic rights of the people. Chief Minister downplays the controversy from Mumbai. Supreme Court to hear plea challenging Wanganchak's detention from New Delhi. दिल्ली सहित प्रमुख शहरों में अयोध्या में बड़े स्तर पर सड़कों का निर्माण 10 फीट ऊंचा 20 फुट लंबा है भगवा ध्वज। रामनगरी की भव्यता को मिला विस्तार। अयोध्या से प्रमुख शहरों का विकास। ध्वजारोहण समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। अयोध्या का कोना कोना फूलों से सजा। पीएम मोदी आज शाम कुरुक्षेत्र का करेंगे दौरा। कुरुक्षेत्र श्री गुरु तेग बहादुर जी के शहीदी दिवस का कार्यक्रम में Supreme Court to hear plea challenging Wangchuk's detention from New Delhi. The Supreme Court is scheduled to hear on Monday a plea filed by Sonam Wangchuk's wife, which termed the climate activist detention under the stringent National Security Act (NSA) as illegal and an arbitrary exercise violating his fundamental rights. The top court had on October 29 sought a response of the center and the Ladakh administration on the amended plea of Mr. Wangchuk's wife Gitanjali. Opposition demands EC action against Ajit Pawar's no votes, no funds demand. Tejas crash wing commander Naman's shall cremated with fully military honors in Ashby on Coimbatore. Verstappen wins big. McLaren's disqualified. We to battle Sindaro for the crown. Aprora Goa. A cool breeze blew across Resort Rio, bringing relief to an oppressively warm Sunday evening. That comforting breeze may have done little to claim Andrea Episteno as he came out of the playing hall and walked swiftly towards his room. Japan closed a red line with remarks on Taiwan. China's Wang from Hong Kong. China's Foreign Minister Wang Yi said on Sunday it was shocking for Japan's leader to openly send a wrong signal concerning Taiwan, the latest remarks in a row that had shaken relations for more than 2 weeks. US to launch new phase of operation in Venezuela as tensions rise. Sources say officials say options under consideration include attempts to overthrow Maduro. From Washington, the United States is poised to launch a new phase of Venezuela-related operations in the coming days. Four US officials told the Reuters as the Trump administration escalates pressure on President Nicolas Maduro's government. Two of the US officials said covert operations would likely be the first part of the new action against Mr. Maduro. A senior administration official on Saturday did not rule anything out regarding Venezuela. President Trump is prepared to use every element of American power to stop drugs from flooding into our country and to bring those responsible to justice, said the official, speaking on the condition of anonymity. The Trump administration has been evaluating Venezuela-related options to combat what it has portrayed as Mr. Maduro's role in supplying illegal drugs that have killed Americans. He has denied having any links to the illegal drugs trade. Two US officials told Reuters the opinion of the options under consideration included attempting to overthrow Mr. Maduro. Junta arrests nearly 1,600 foreigners in Myanmar's camp hubs. Israel launches airstrikes in the latest test of Gaza ceasefire as hospitals report 24 deaths. From Gaza Strip, Israel's military on Saturday launched airstrikes against Hamas militants in Gaza in the latest test of the ceasefire that began on October 10 as Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's office said 5 senior Hamas members were killed. Health officials in Gaza reported at least 24 people killed and 4 people killed and 54 wounded, including children. The strikes which Israel said were in response to gunfire at its troops came after international momentum on Gaza, with the UN Security Council in Monday approving the US blueprint to secure and govern the territory. Israel has previously carried out similar strikes after reported attacks on its forces during the ceasefire. At least 33 Palestinians were killed over a 12-hour period on Wednesday and Thursday, mostly women and children. Officials said one of Saturday's strikes targeted a vehicle, killing 11 and wounding over 20 Palestinians in Gaza City's rival, said Rami Miana, managing director of Shifa Hospital, where the casualties were taken, will keep striking. Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu insisted on Sunday that Israel would do everything necessary to stop Hezbollah and Hamas. We are continuing to strike terrorism on several fronts, Mr. Netanyahu said as he opened a cabinet meeting the weekend. The IDF struck in Lebanon, and we will continue to do everything necessary to prevent Hezbollah from re-establishing. This is also what we are doing in the Gaza Strip since the ceasefire. Ukraine and Western allies converge in Geneva to discuss US space plan. National security advisors from the UK, France, and Germany hold meeting with Ukrainian delegation. Next set of talks expected with Alice with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who US lawmakers say had described the plan as a Russian wish list. From Geneva, top European and Ukrainian envoys conferred in Geneva on Sunday ahead of talks with US Secretary of State Marco Rubio over President Donald Trump's proposal to end Russia's war on Ukraine. The head of the Ukrainian delegation, Presidential Chief of Staff Andriy Yermak, wrote on social media that they held their first meeting with the national security advisors from the UK, France, and Germany. The allies have relied around Kyiv in a push to revise the plan, which is seen as favoring Moscow. The next meeting is with the US delegation. We are in a very constructive mood, Mr. Yermak said. Mr. Rubio was expected to join the talks together with Army Secretary Advantage Russia. The 28-point plan driven up by the US to end the nearly 4-year war has sparked alarm in Kyiv and European capitals. Mr. Zelensky had said his country could face a stark choice between standing up for its sovereign rights and preserving the American support it needs. श्री राम जन्मभूमि परिसर में आज ध्वजारोहण समारोह आज विवाह पंचमी के अभिजीत मुहूर्त में होगा। ध्वजा धर्म ध्वजा पर सूर्य और कविदार पेड़ का चित्र अंकित। प्रभु श्री राम के अन्य भक्त और छोटे भाई लक्ष्मण का है मंदिर। पीएम श्री राम जन्म मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन। लक्ष्मण जी के सम्मान में भव्य मंदिर बनकर तैयार। ध्वजारोहण समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। अयोध्या का कोना कोना फूलों से सजा। Rajapaksa's party was to topple Sri Lankan government at first chance. From Colombo, Pope urges release of 315 seized in Nigerian mass school kidnapping from Vatican City. Iran's adversary is trying to target Khamenei, intelligence minister says from Tehran. Bosnia's autonomous Serb-region votes in snap presidential election from Banja Luka. लक्ष्मण जी के सम्मान में भव्य मंदिर बनकर तैयार। ये मोदी राम जन्मभूमि मंदिर में करेंगे दर्शन। 2008 समारोह को लेकर अयोध्या में उत्सव का माहौल। शेषावतार मंदिर का निर्माण। श्री राम जन्मभूमि में शेषावतार मंदिर का निर्माण। The family packs of Bihar. In the recent assembly polls, sons and daughters of MPs and MLAs were shown into the fray. Those who won say it is a sign of their work and potential and not only their legacy that translated into votes. We'll connect with youth. Pratibha Singh backs new Himachal Congress president. From Shimla, artists glorifying gun culture in songs will face strict action, says Haryana DGP. From Gurugram, Haryana Director General of Police OP Singh has warned of strict legal action against singers promoting gun culture among the youth. Mr. Singh made the remarks in a letter to his subordinates on Sunday to congratulate them on the success of a special campaign being carried out in the state to track down criminals, singers who promote gang lifestyles to youth through music and videos driven by money and power should be treated as criminals and strict legal action should be taken against them, he wrote. Earlier this year, the Haryana police had taken down about 10 songs allegedly promoting gun culture from various social media platforms. SIT probing shifting of Sabrimala panels to homes for worship from Trivandrum. High Command will take a call on leadership, Kharge says. Day after Siddharth Maya meets him, Congress chief states he has nothing to say on political development. He puts ball in श्री गुरु तेग बहादुर जी के कार्यक्रम में आज शामिल होंगे प्रधानमंत्री मोदी। आज विवाह पंचमी है। आज विवाह पंचमी के अभिजीत मुहूर्त में होगा ध्वजारोहण। TP cover necessary but isn't enough. Last Monday we looked at the human side of motor third party liability insurance. This compulsory cover is meant to protect peace of mind and finances by shielding you from the legal burden of compensating those who suffer losses in an accident involving your vehicle. But to borrow from the old saying, a TP policy is necessary but not sufficient. It is necessary for every vehicle owner, yet the number of vehicles actually insured is far too small for the cover to function as a meaningful social safety net for accident victims and their families. Earlier this month, the Supreme Court asked the insurance regulator, the Insurance Regulatory and Development Authority of India, to mule the ways to improve motor insurance coverage, especially for TP cover, a statutory requirement under the Motor Vehicle Act 1988. Money flow matrix, fresh lens on spending habits. Every financial habit carries a hidden emotional script, so discover yours before fixing your finances, know your financial personality. Money is like water. Water responds to gravity, pressure, obstacles, and also to the shape of its channel. Likewise, money habits react to your impulses, emotion, fears, greed, and other inner patterns. These individual patterns decide how money enters and escapes your wallet. Engineers study water flow and predict where it speeds up, slow down, or leaks. Similarly, you need to know your money habits to direct flow and plug leaks. Getting a test of equity. Think investor moving some savings from bank deposits to equity boost expected returns on total investments, but if the funds so invested generate negative returns, you may regret moving to equity. If you hold a view that equity investments are risky and therefore parked your savings in bank deposits and real estate, you could be facing a dilemma now. The stock market has been vibrant and IPOs have mostly listed at a premium to their offer prices. Has that tempted you to move some money from your bank deposits to stock market? This week we discussed the rules you can apply when you move some money from deposits to equity investments. Master time management. Uncertain about your career option, low on self-confidence, this column may help. I was admitted to Hansraj College in 2022 but had to opt for a distance course due to family reasons. I am preparing for government exams, but what opportunities do I have compared to my peers from regular college? Praveen, dear Praveen, while you have missed out on the social aspects of campus life, you are gaining immense self-discipline, time management, and independence. Utilize these critical skills for your government exam preparation. Ensure that your degree is eligible and valid. Your score in the government exam is what matters. Focus on your goal and structure your day around exam prep without your distractions. Create a study schedule that suits your peak productivity hours. Use the time to build a powerful profile through online courses, certifications, and self-driven projects. Excel in your course and aim for a higher percentage. As it speaks volumes about your academic capability, work on digital literacy and language, communication, public speaking, and interpersonal skills. Look for online or part-time internship in content writing, research, assistance, data entry, social media management, or with NGOs as this shows initiative and gives you real-world experience. Build a professional LinkedIn profile, connect with professional alumni from your school and people in fields that you are interested in. Attend free online workshops, webinars, and seminars to keep you updated about your field and network. Education Plus Design for the Future. Designer educator Sandy Speaker explains why design thinking is an effective tool to shape a supportive and nurturing end of life environment. Closer Home, Bangalore based preventive healthcare service Neura works with hospitals to train and empower family caregivers to improve patient outcomes in healing at home. This ability to sympathize and formulate creative solutions is a skill increasingly in demand and necessary to shape the future stage. American designer, educator, Sandy Speaker, who emphasizes that design is the next big thing in education. Usually understood in terms of fashion, interiors, and aesthetics, design is also about creating human centered, sustainable experiences that work in favor of people. Design education. Design education is not for self but public service. It is about how to make communicatives happy and prosperous, said speaker during an interview while on a visit to India to forge connection with institutions willing to integrate innovative design thinking with different academic streams. It is the only way forward to navigate modern complexities. Systematic and savvy. The former CEO of the Global Design from IDEO Speaker is currently an advisor at the BITS School of Design in Mumbai. Everything curriculum should sensitive. Every curriculum should sensitize students and turn them into many investigators in their respective fields and steer them to problem solving at every level from local to global. State forest departments across India have no record of African grey parrot trade, reveal RTA responses from Udham Mandalam. There are no registered breeders or authorized pet shops to sell African grey parrots. Opponents target BJP on emotive Chandigarh issue from Chandigarh. Political parties on Sunday criticized the Bharatiya Janata Party even as the union government clarified that it had no intention of introducing a bill in the winter session of Parliament to bring Chandigarh within the ambit of Article 240 of the Constitution. Punjab Congress President Amrinder Singh Rajawarding rejected the union government's clarification and termed it vague. What is the guarantee that it will not bring it in the next session? He said. What was the need to propose an amendment at the first instance if the BJP is really sincere about Punjab and Punjabis? It should initiate the measures to hand over Chandigarh completely back to Punjab instead of taking contrary steps, he said in a statement. ITBP to set up 10 all-women border posts along LAC New Delhi. The Indo-Tibetan Border Police Force, which guards the 3,488 kilogram long India-China LAC, is establishing 10 all-women border posts along with arduous and icy frontier. The Director General of the paramilitary shared the force as part of its ambitious forward session plan initiated post the 2020 military clash in Ladakh has also moved its 215 border post forward along the fourth raising day and parade of the affairs held in Jammu on Saturday. We have worked on the forwardation plan and as a result the number of forward deployed BOPs border outpost is now 215 as compared to 180. The center had sanctioned more battalions and this trophies comprising about 9,400 personnel for the ITBP in 2023. TN district on high alert as IMD predicts heavy rain floods. JNKL holds security review meet amid terror crackdown. COP30 stresses adaptation as path to fossil fuel free world. Countries that have called to at least triple adaptation financed by 2035 and to hold a systematic dialogue with existing UN trade forms of ensuring that measures to combat climate change do not impede trade or growth in developing countries from New Delhi. The deliberation at COP30, which concluded in Brazil on Saturday, underlined that while countries agreed upon transitioning away from fossil fuel, more emphasis ought to be laid on adapting to climate change rather than defining roadmaps to end up use of fossil fuels. As the text of the consensus called the Mitirao coming together agreement says countries have agreed to establish a 2-year work program on climate finance called for efforts to at least triple adaptation finance by 2035 and having systematic dialogue with participation from existing United Nations states form, for example, International Trade Center, the UN Conference on Trade and Development, and the World Trade Organization on how measures to combat climate change should not impede trade and growth of developing countries. Climate finance refers to money that must be disbursed by developed countries to developing ones. The aim of COP's conference of parties has been on delivering climate finance evenly for mitigation, avoiding fossil fuel project and funding renewable energy and adaptation, building infrastructure to better shield waste, climate change, investing in resilient agriculture, and so on. However, mitigation projects are generally more business friendly and have garnered more attention. While the adaptation finance decision wasn't that developing countries wanted, it helps ensure that funding for adaptation will continue to grow. Even though the deadline is a decade away, developed countries can't be complacent and must immediately get to work scaling up adaptation support. Having this goal with the framework of SDGQS means that developed countries take the lead with the other countries encouraged to contribute voluntarily. Joy Thwarts in International Climate Finance Director, Natural Resources Defense Council, a global think tank, said in a statement, new collective quantified goal on climate finance refers to an agreement on COPs 29. Difficult choices. Ukraine and its allies must seek to build on Trump's proposals. The Trump administration's draft peace proposal for Ukraine has triggered predictable unease in Kiev. Vladimir is a shadow of doubt over India's food landscape. In recent years, a string of high profile flood adulteration cases has shaken consumer confidence. As a result, many are now more cautious about their everyday food choices. Street food, once a beloved symbol of India's rich culinary culture, is facing growing scrutiny that is related to safety and hygiene. The Council of BJP, Nitish Kumar and the JD are no longer in command in Bihar. The composition of the newly sworn in Council of Ministers in Bihar and the distribution of portfolios reflect the ongoing realignment of power between the BJP and JD. Supremo Nitish Kumar retains the post of Chief Minister even though his party finished second to the BJP in the assembly election. However, for the first time in his nearly 20 years as Chief Minister, he is not in charge of the Home Department. The latter has won, but the spirit has not lost. The latter has won, but the spirit has not lost. The Republic of India has had 15 presidents over 16 presidencies. Its inaugural president, Dr. Rajendra Prasad, having served two terms of the number of governors appointed since 1947, the figure is too large to be counted. The holders of these two high offices can do great good. Sometimes not a little harm and very or most often prefer an almost Advaitic selflessness that leaves no mark whatever. A self-protecting mechanism, it is better to be not remembered at all than remembered negatively. I have often wondered how these high functionaries, when they are males, as they invariably are, carry pens in the pockets of their coats. The pen is almost a piece of their essential getting ready nest. It makes them seem ever ready to sign the paper put up to them wherever they are. The master cartoonist Abu Braham immortalized the 1975 movement when the then president signed the proclamation of the national emergency by a sharing cartoon that showed him signing the paper. when it was brought to him. Reflection from the past. In the 16th presidential reference, the top court has upheld the letter and the spirit of Constitution. बीजेपी समर्थकों के पहुंचने के बाद दोनों वोटों में तीखी नोकझोंक, एसआईआर पर बवाल। जमायत चीफ मदानी एआई फलाह इजमास स्पार्क नाउ फ्रॉम न्यू दिल्ली। जमायत उलमा ए हिंद चीफ मौलाना अरशाद Mulani's remarks alleging discrimination against Muslims in the context of multiple investigation into Al Falah University in connection with the Red Fort blast sparked a controversy on Sunday. The BJP responded by claiming the Atanki Bachao Save Terrorist Jamaite had become active. The world thinks that Muslims have been crippled and finished. I don't believe so. Today, a Muslim, Mamdani, can become the mayor of New York. A Khan can become mayor of London. Whereas in India, no one can even become a university vice chancellor, Mr. Madani said. He is the fourth founder in the jail and no one knows how many years he will be in jail. He said the government is working relentlessly to ensure that Muslims never raised their heads. The chief of one of the two one of the two factions of Jamaat allies. The BJP leader slammed Mr. Madani for the remark and accused him of giving a communal color to the Delhi blast prom. The ruling party's spokesperson Shahjad Poonwala said Arshad Mumdani leaves aside the talk of mayor. Singh will always be a part of India's civilizational heritage, said Rajnath Singh from New Delhi. Defense Minister Rajnath Singh on Sunday asserted that while Sindh was no longer part of India geographically, it remained an integral part of India's civilizational heritage. Speaking at a community event, he shared today the land of Sindh may not be a part of India, but civilizationally, Sindh will always be a part of India, and as far as land is concerned, borders can change. Who knows? Tomorrow, Sindh may return to India again. Referring to senior BJP leader Lal Krishna Advani, born in Sindh, Mr. Singh said Mr. Advani and had written about how Sindh Hindus of his generation never fully accepted the separation of Sindh from India, not just in Sindh but throughout India. Hindus considered the Indus River sacred. Many Muslims in Sindh also believed that the water of the Indus was no less sacred than the Ab-e-Zamam of Mecca, he said. Mr. Singh reiterated that people of Sindhi origin would always remain our own, no matter where they live. Plight of minorities. The defense minister also spoke about the plight of minorities in neighboring countries. He said these communities had suffered violence, forced conversion, and displacement, and criticized past appeasement seeking governments for denying them proper rehabilitation in India. He added that Prime Minister Narendra Modi understood their suffering, which led to the introduction of the Citizenship Amendment Bill. He noted that the government had permitted persecuted minorities from neighboring nations to stay without passport till 2024, enabling them to live with dignity. Mr. Singh criticized the Congress leadership during partition, saying it ignored the security concern of Hindus in Sindh and disgraced their migration to India. LA fears of people over SIR West Bengal, Governor tells EC from Kolkata. Justice Suryakant to take oath as Chief Justice today. Yesterday, Justice Suryakant, who has been part of several landmark verdicts, will on Monday takeouts as the 53rd Chief Justice of India. He will succeed Justice B.R. Gavai. Justice Kant was appointed the next Chief Justice on October 30 and will remain in the post for nearly 15 months. He will demit office on February 9, 2027 on attaining the age of 65. Born on February 10, 1962 in Hisar district of Haryana to a middle class family, Justice Kant went from being a small town lawyer to the country's highest judicial office. The Justice Kant, who penned several notable judgments in the Punjab and Haryana High Court, was appointed the Chief Justice of the Himachal Pradesh High Court on October 5, 2018. His tenure as a Supreme Court judge is marked by verdict on the abrogation of Article 370 free speech and citizenship rights. The judge was part of the advisory opinion on the recent presidential reference on the powers of the governor. Rahul Gandhi says SIR aims to tire out genuine voters by forcing them to shift to a jungle of paperwork. Mallikarjun Kharge likens hasty, unplanned revision to demonetization and lockdown. Islam GC for standing as a mute spectator from New Delhi. Did SIR process decide the Bihar result? Data says no. The special, the NDA's advantage over the MGP remained mostly intact despite a decrease in electorate numbers following the special intensive revision exercise. The special intensive revision of electoral rolls became one of the most contentious issues in the Bihar 2025 Assembly election. The Bharatiya Janata Party and allies welcomed the process as necessary to remove infiltrators from voter list, improving the breed of Indian horses. 100 years ago, Cochin Mumbai train from January 26. The future of health lies in harmony. The second WHO Global Summit on Traditional Medicine will strengthen recognition of traditional medicine as a scientific and social asset as the world grapples with rising lifestyle disease, environmental degradation, and social fragmentation. There is a growing realization that restoring the balance between people and the planet, progress and sustainability, innovation and intuition is a necessity. Health, in its truest sense, has always been a reflection of harmony within the human body and between humanity and nature. This is the principle that is at the heart of traditional medicine systems worldwide, which view health not merely as the absence of illness but as the presence of equilibrium. The science of well being, therefore, is not new, it is the rediscovery of a traditional understanding now being reaffirmed through evidence based research. The World Health Organization WHO reports that around 90% of WHO member states have reported on the use of traditional medicine for billions of people. It remains the first line of care, particularly in low and middle income nations where accessibility and affordability are paramount. Its value, however, extends well beyond healthcare. Traditional medicine support biodiversity, nutrition, food security, and livelihoods, embodying the holistic concept of integrative health. Market analysts estimate India's Ayush sector at $43.4 billion. Calm returns to Sabrimala. For the government, the corrective actions have given its political oxygen. Experts warn against premature conclusion about Tejas crash. From New Delhi, the recent crash of an Indian Air Force IF Tejas fighter aircraft at the Dubai Airshow has triggered a wave of speculation on social media, with many users terming the accident a setback for India's flagship defense support platform. XCGI says opinion does not overrule judgment. We have only relaxed the timeline. At the same time, we have balanced it by saying the governor cannot sit on a bill endlessly. We have also provided in a routine bill, 1 month is sufficient for a governor to clear it. However, in bills concerning internal or external emergency, a governor may not be able to take a call in month. He may take 3 or 4 months, he said. To a question if Justice B.V. Nagaratna's dissent to Supreme Court proposal to elevate Justice Vipul Manubhai Pancholi had any merit. He said that if it had, the four other judges on the collegium would not have agreed to the proposal. He said he did not believe in the age-old adage that there should be friction between the judiciary and the government. I do not believe friction is necessary, especially when we have to depend on the purses for infrastructural development. I do not think continuous friction is necessary, he shared. Justice Kavai shared the popular nation was that a judge was independent only if he decided against the government. The decision of a judgment is not based on whether the litigation is a government or a private person. You decide as per the papers before you. The government may succeed or the government may lose in a given case. That is not the correct approach, he said. After he had come under pressure from the government at any time. He replied, "No, I know. When asked this question, everyone in my position would say no, but in my case, it is really a no." He replied to a question about the large number of transfers of High Court judges during its 6 month tenure, saying they were largely made in the interest of administration of justice, but there were also complaints against same judges. No plan to bring bill on Chandigarh Sage Centre. No final decision has been made on this proposal. The proposal in no way seeks to alter Chandigarh's governance or administrative structure, nor does it aim to change the traditional arrangements between Chandigarh and the states of Punjab or Haryana. It shared. A suitable decision will be made only after adequate consultation with all stakeholders. Keeping in mind the interest of Chandigarh, there is no need for concern regarding this matter. The central government has no intention of introducing any bill to this effect in the coming winter session of Parliament. The ministry further stated, currently the governor of Punjab is concurrently the administrator of Chandigarh, and if the bill is passed, the union territory will be governed by a lieutenant governor. Congress leader and Rajya Sabha member Jairam Ramesh said that the Parliament bulletin had listed for the introduction of a constitution amendment bill to enable the appointment of a full-time LG for Chandigarh. This was immediately and aggressively opposed by the INC and other parties in Punjab, whose governor is also the administrator of Chandigarh. The Union Home Minister now says that it has no intention to introduce the bill in the winter session. Yet another example of the Modi government fast approach to governance. First announced, second thing, Mr. Ramesh said. BJP urges JNK L to Z to bar admission of Muslims at varsity. The move evoked sharp reactions from several political parties from Srinagar. Bangladesh Sheikh's Hasina extradition sends letter from Dhaka. Consensus on most recommendations of Assam Accord panel from Guwahati. Alpha suffered setbacks as a top leader surrenders from Guwahati. UNSC reforms now a necessity, says Modi at IBSA meet. From Johannesburg, Prime Minister Modi on Sunday said reform of the United Nations Security Council UNSC was no longer on an option but a necessity and asserted that the India, Brazil, South Africa Troika should send a clear message for changes to institutions of global governance. Addressing the India, Brazil, South Africa Leaders Summit, he said the world appeared fragmented and divided. The IBSA could provide a message of unity, cooperation, and community humanity. He proposed institutionalizing the IBSA NSA level meeting to strengthen security cooperation among the three countries in the fight against terrorism. We must move forward in close coordination. There is no place for any double standards on such a serious issue. Mr. Modi said at the meeting attended by South African President Cyril Ramaphosa and Brazilian President Luiz Inácio Lula da Silva. Mr. Modi said the IBSA was not just a group of three countries but an important platform connecting three continents, three major democratic nations, and three major economies, highlighting technology's role in ensuring human-centric development. Mr. Modi proposed establishing an IVSA Digital Innovation Alliance to facilitate the sharing of digital public infrastructure such as unified payments interface, health platforms, cybersecurity frameworks, and women-led initiatives among the three countries. Prime Minister called for global compact on AI to prevent misuse. The pact must be based on certain core principles like effective human oversight, safety by design, transparency, and restrictions on AI use in deep fakes, crime, terror activities, says Modi at G20. From Johannesburg, Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday called for a global compact to prevent misuse of artificial intelligence and made a strong pitch for critical technologies to 100 centric instead of finance centric. Addressing the third session of the G20 summit on the topic, a fair and a just for future for all, critical minerals, decent work, artificial intelligence, Mr. Modi, and technology applications should be global rather than national and based on open source rather than exclusive models. Mr. Modi shared that this vision had been integrated into India's technology ecosystem and it had resulted in significant benefits, be it in space application, AI, or digital payments, where it is a world leader. We must all ensure that AI is used for global good and its misuse is prevented. To do this, we must create a global compact on AI based on certain core principles, including effective human oversight, safety by design, transparency, and strict restrictions on the use of AI in deep fakes, crime, and terror activities. Mr. Modi shared. The Prime Minister shared AI systems that impact human life, security, or public trust must be responsible and audible. And importantly, AI should enhance human capabilities, but the ultimate responsibility for decision making always remains with humans. He added, he said that in this age of AI, the approach must rapidly shift from jobs of today to capabilities of tomorrow. Unlocking talent mobility is essential for rapid innovation. We made progress on this topic at the Delhi G20. We hope that in the next few years, the G20 will develop a global framework for talent mobility, he said. Mr. Modi said that under the India AI mission accessible high performance computing capacity were being built with the aim of ensuring that AI benefits reach everyone. The Prime Minister said India would be hosting the AI Impact Summit in February 2026 with the theme Sarvjanam Hitai Sarvjan Sukhai. welfare for all, happiness for all. He articulated India's message for global well-being, asserting that it stood for development that is sustainable, trade that is trusted, finance that is fair, and progress in which everyone prospers. Prime Minister discussed his trade critical minerals with Rampa Ghosha. The two leaders agreed to work jointly to amplify the voice of the global south from Johannesburg. Prime Minister Narendra Modi on Sunday met South African President Cyril Summit here. The two leaders discussed cooperation in various areas, including trade, investment, mining, critical minerals, AI, and food security. Had an excellent meeting with President Cyril Ramaphosa during the G20 summit in Johannesburg. Mr. Modi posted on social media after his meeting. We reviewed the full range of the India-South Africa partnership, especially in boosting linkage of commerce, culture, investment, and intensifying cooperation in technology, scaling AI, critical minerals, and more, he added. Mr. Modi congratulated the South African leader on the successful presidency of the G20 summit this year. He appreciated South African efforts to take forward and build on the decisions arrived during the New Delhi G20 summit. South Africa is hosting the first G20 summit being held in Africa. News in numbers, number of persons sentenced to death in Yemen's Houthi court. Villages being built under vibrant villages program in J&K. Number of lives claimed by earthquake in Bangladesh. Number of rare species of turtles recovered in UP. Foreigners arrested by the Myanmar junta scam hub raids. How can state PSCs be reformed? How did the one tag Chelmsford report lead to the establishment of Present Day Public Service Commission? What is the role of the Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pension? Is a periodical review of the examination syllabus necessary? The story so far, the 2025 National Conference of Chairpersons of the State Public Service Commission PCSH is being hosted by the Telangana State Public Service Commission on December 19 and 20. Every year, whenever state PCs conduct examination for recruitment, they are mired in the controversy or the other aspirants often have to seek judicial recourse, due to which the entire process is derailed, leading to a trust deficit. This is an outcome of systematic lapses, both structural and procedural, which exist in almost all state species. This conference would be an apt occasion to discuss such issues and more. What is the history of PSCs? The PSCs in India are a product of India's struggle for independence. The entry of Indians into the civil services on the sole criterion of merit was embedded in the demand for self rule. The Montague-Chelmsford report accepted the demand and proposed a permanent office free from political influence to regulate service matters. The first public service commission for the Union was formed in 1926. Later, the Government of India Act 1935 provided for the establishment of the PCS for each province. These provisions were continued by the framers of the constitution, and so today we have a Union Public Service Commission UPSC and PCSC in each state to primarily serve the needs of recruitment. How are these commissions structured? The UPSC function is a relatively politically sterile environment. The members are appointed based on merit and rich prior experience in public affairs. Moreover, representation of members from all zones of the country is ensured. While the institution does not mention minimum age or qualification, most of the appointed members are at least above the age of 55 and enjoy a reputation of being apolitical, a politically osmotic environment, and the proverbial spoiled system is visible in the appointed process. The conventional requirements of minimum age, qualification, and public experience are given a short shift. The Indian government has vast manpower needs. This is matched by financial resources to meet the retirement obligations of the superannuated and the remunerative needs fresh entrants. It has also created a dedicated ministry, the Ministry of Personal Public Grievances and Pension in 1985 to formulate all policies in the field of personal management. This ensure regular declaration of vacancies by the government, enabling the UPSC to notify, conduct and declare the results of the examinations conducted by it with regularity and precision. In contrast, the manpower needs of the states are limited and not planned. Often they lack the financial resources to meet the retirement and recruitment obligations of their employees, alluding to extension of the superannuation age and postponement of recruitment. Why did Wikipedia lock the page titled Gaza Genocide? Know your English. I climbed up and reached the pinnacle. Stop name dropping when you are trying to make new friends. It will not help. What is the difference in meaning between to drop names and name dropping? In terms of meaning, there is no difference between the two. When you drop a name during the course of your conversation with someone, what you are doing is mentioning the name of some well known individual. You talk about this individual as if you have known him for some time and that he is a good friend of yours. This may, however, not be true. You may have seen the individual but never actually talked to him. But during the conversation with your friend, you give the impression that the two of you are very close. People often resort to name dropping because they want to impress those around them and in the process hope to get preferential treatment. But this act of dropping names does not go down well with many individuals. The expression is often used to voice approval. I find her constant name dropping highly irritating. A person who frequently drops names is referred to as a name dropper. Is it okay to say hang a right or left? Vasanti Kodikanal, the expression hang is right and left is a much more common in American English than British. It is seldom heard in our country. It is normally used when you are giving directions to someone who is driving. When you tell someone to hang a right, you are asking the person to turn right. Hang a right and hang it left have the same meaning as make a right and take a left. Hang a right or left have been part of American English since the 1990s. Once you cross the railway station, hang a left. How is the word pinnacle pronounced? What does it mean? The word consists of three syllables. The vowels in the first two syllables should like the I in pin, din, and tin. The word is pronounced pen, e, kale with a stress on the first syllable. It can't speak, and it was originally used to refer to the top of the relatively high or tall mountain. With the passage of time, the word began to be applied to other objects which were relatively tall Relatively tall for jump at the highest point of a rather tall building can be referred to as a pinnacle. Nowadays, the word is used in everyday context to talk about the achievements of an individual, the highlight of our career, the greatest success that we have achieved can be referred as our pinnacle. It is always pinnacle and not pinnacle. It is always pinnacle and not pinnacles. In Mala's opinion, getting a PhD from Harvard is the learner. I thank all respected doctors and directors. I thank Honorable Minister General Manager. I thank all honorable advocates, advertisers, administrators and advisors. I thank, last but not the least, I would like to thank the most honorable presenters. Modi ji, it is very nice time. Have a nice time, nice place. Have a nice day. Thank you. Nice to see all of you. Good morning. Thank you very much.